Hey fellow content creator, it's Mike here, and today we are diving into the world of AI-controlled smartphone gimbal. We are talking about the Insta360 FLOW, which honestly blows my mind away. This smartphone gimbal is super well designed for iPhone and Android user, and it is packed with features that will enhance your content creation. It's special for beginner or solo creators. In this video you will learn everything about the gimbal's features, its pros and cons, and as well the limitation for Android user to ensure the gimbal is the right fit for you. So let's get started. I bought the Creator Kit, which also included a spotlight, carry bag and USB-C and lightning cable to charge your phone or other devices. So I highly recommend already this set, so you see why. As soon as I took the gimbal out of the box, I was impressed how compact and lightweight it was, making it super easy to carrying it around for all your adventures. The AI tracking features simplify advanced gimbal movements so you can focus more on creativity. It's a lot of fun to using this gimbal and the possibilities are endless. However, there are also some limitations you should be aware of, especially when using an Android phone like the Samsung S23 ULTRA, which most of the time I use in this video. Setting up the flow is a breeze with the one-step rapid deploy. Simply attach your smartphone via the magnetic phone clamp, unfold the gimbal once, then the app opens automatically and you are ready to record or take selfies. Flow makes it easy to start creative content. The high capacity battery of 2900 mAh that provides you 12 hours of constantly recording, so you never have to worry about running out of battery doing your shootings or your phone, because you also can charge your phone via the gimbal. When using heavier phones like the iPhone 14 Pro Max or the Samsung S23 ULTRA, it's important to attach it to the right position. A good balance is the key of getting the smooth footage out of the gimbal. I will show you this later in the app section. The magic phone clamp. You probably think the phone will fall off or doesn't really hold, right? As you see here, I shocked it very hard and held it very well, so you don't have to worry about when running with the flow, as it is a really strong magnet system. As a solo creator, the Extentable Selfis-Sick with the angle adjustment allows you to capture epic shots from unique perspective, and the tripod features provides you stability for static shots for the following view mode triggered by the hand gesture control. You can also angle the top part by 45 degrees, it's perfect for group selfies. So you can get your whole crew in the shot or switching up the views in your clips with high or low angle shooting. And using the trigger to activate the deep tracking 3.0, so you not need to be worried about your shot goes out of frame. The SmartWheel. Twist the little outside ring for the zoom function or changing lenses with a quick twist, or a long holding for a smooth zooming in or out. The Thumb touchscreen wheel for a quick movement mode change from auto to follow to pen follow or FPV. Let me explain quickly. Auto will adjust automatically for the following modes for your movements, which is also the standard mode. By the follow mode, only the roll axes are locked and it will follow the pan and tilt movement. And this is also my favorite mode. Pan follow, where the tilt and the roll axis are locked and the pan axis is following by twisting the handle to the left or to the right. With FPV, the gimbal will follow all of your handle movements, pan, tilt and roll. This way you can create barrel roll, and you have to use the FPV mode and then twisting the SmartWheel for a rotation movement. We are coming to the buttons. On the bottom you can turn on and off the gimbal. On the left side you have the recording button. Not only that you can record in the Insta360 app, you can also use the native app to press record or stop recording. The button on the right is for a quick ratio change, switching from vertical to horizontal. By long press you can review the last filmed clip, and by using the button to the left or right you can switch between the clips, or using the thumb touch wheel to play back forward or backwards. Also super cool, the gimbal twists automatically when viewing vertical or horizontal video. The back trigger button has 4 functions to start the deep tracking 3.0, recenter your frame, or twisting your phone by using the high-res camera for your vlogging. And by holding the trigger you can lock all axes so that the gimbal is not following any of your movements. Then you have the little thumb joystick for changing your frame. In the Creator Kit you have the spotlight LED, super simple and easy to use. Attach it and twist it to a direction you want. You can choose between 3 color temperatures or 3 brightness levels. The LED brightness is 20 to 40 lux at half meter, and the color temperature is cool by 5000 Kelvin, warm by 2800 Kelvin and mixed by 3500 Kelvin. Perfect for night shots, selfies and product shots to shine a light on your shot. Mounting a wireless microphone system to enhance your audio quality is super important. It makes it easier than ever with Flow's built-in cold shrew mount. Attach the wireless receiver at the gimbal and the transmitter with a lav mic to you. You're ready to record amazing audio combined with the phone and the gimbal. Perfect for vlogging. Okay folks, we are coming now to the sweet part. If you have already an Insta360 camera, then you're familiar with the powerful app they provide. Make sure the app is set up correctly and the gimbal is balanced and calibrated before moving on. Here are my settings.
We're starting first with the video settings, which you can choose 1080p or 4K with 30 frames, or for iPhone users 60 frames per second. Here you can change the exposure settings from auto to manual, so you can change the shutter speed or the ISO, but manual is only available for iPhone user. And in auto you can change the exposure value until -3 for iPhone and for Android -2. The next settings is the flow settings, where you can change the follow mode or as well the joystick speed, zoom speed and tracking sensitivity. There are 3 options available: slow, medium and fast. And at the end you have auto calibration and adjust horizontal axis.
I mentioned in the beginning that it is important to position your phone correctly so that the gimbal motors don't have to work as hard. When setting up the flow, turn it off and be sure that the gimbal is not tilting to the left or to the right. However, the Insta360 app includes this as well. Here you can calibrate or auto balance the gimbal. You will see an area where the phone needs to be positioned.
After having your phone in the right position, choose auto calibration. Voila! After this, we're coming to the general settings, where I activate the grid and the histogram. And you can also activate voice recording, or you can save the unstitched panorama photos and other options.
Using the flow with the app, you get AI shot guides, allows you to shoot various sequences step by step. They did the planning for you and all you have to do is replicate the shots. Here like this example. Capturing cinematic footage with storytelling like a pro filmmaker. The possibilities are endless, making your content creation process seamless and efficient even if you are a beginner. Most outstanding feature is the Deep Tracking 3.0. Other gimbal have the tracking as well, but the Deep Track 3.0 is pretty accurate and doesn't lose any track so easily. Select the spot on the screen you want to track and press the trigger button to begin tracking.
As you can see here, even that people crossing by or anything, the tracking don't lose any track.
As you can see, the framing is in center, but you can change this with the joystick to make it off center, since we want to use the rule of third. Tracking off center allows you to easily keep the subject off center while tracking. By pressing the trigger button again, you then cancel the tracking. The best when using this gimbal, these orbit shots here, they are looking amazing and they're very hard to create. And with the flow, it is really easy, even for beginner. First, you have to activate the tracking and leave it in center. And then you move in one direction around the subject. To avoid bumpy footage, go into the ninja walk, where you walk slowly and softly. Solo creator can also use the hands up gestures to begin recording and start their tracking and filming dynamic following movements. Then hands up again to stop recording or tracking. Here you can see some examples. The Insta360 Flow also have voice recognition, so you can say start recording or stop recording. Timelapse, hyperlapse and slow motion. With the 4K timelapse and hyperlapse videos, you can add a lot of creativity or storytelling to your videos. My favorite timelapse feature is the tracking point for motion timelapse, panning from left to right or up and down. You first check where you want to have your start position and then choosing multiple tracking points, like this timelapse I did here. More options are available to get the perfect time-lapse or hyperlapse. You can change the interval time and see a little preview clip when using different times and when you should use them. Creating hyperlapses with the time-lapse or time shift is super easy. In time shift mode, you have the capability to track a subject, and the app automatically speeds up the video and adds some motion blur as well. My biggest concern so far with the hyperlapse are the flickering, which I got creating a couple hyperlapses, since I can't manually set up the exposure on my Android, and I have to use deflickering
In the slow motion mode you can film in 1080p with 120 or 240 frames per second. This clip is filmed with 120 frames per second and this one is with 240 frames per second.
The slow motion function is only available for iPhone. We are coming to 360 Panorama Photo mode. If you don't have a 360 camera, with the Flow you can capturing stunning wide angle 3x3, 180, 240 or 360 degrees panorama photos. It's important to be careful when doing this, as the stand is not really stable. To avoid damaging your phone or your gimbal, I recommend you to use a better tripod stand. Using the live broadcast, you can use the tracking features for FaceTime, Zoom, IG or YouTube Lives, or when using other camera apps. How do you activate tracking? Once in the live broadcast mode, press the back trigger once and the gimbal will automatically scan your area to detect your face, so you have to hold still. Another cool feature is the DollyZoom, which brings Hollywood production into the Flow. A DollyZoom is an in-camera effect in which you move towards or away from the subject while zooming into the opposite direction. All you need to do is moving backwards from the subject and the app will automatically zoom in. This is super cool and easy to create. Try it out. What about the video quality in the app compared to the native app? As I compared the video bitrate from the videos filmed in the Insta360 app to the native camera app, I had to implement this part in the video. On iPhones there are really any difference except that you not can film in ProRes. With the Samsung, the bitrate is in the app is 34 megabits compared to 40 megabits with the native camera app. However, you can also shoot with a higher bitrate with 95 mbits or in 8K, but you cannot choose this in the Insta360 app. Have this in mind what you want to shoot, since I want to sell stock footage, so I need higher bitrates. Using the native app for Samsung is also better because you have the auto exposure, which is not overexposed, what I have most of the time in the Insta360 app. In addition, there are also more control options with other filming apps. This includes manual exposure settings and filming in ProRes RAW on the Samsung S23 ULTRA or ProRes on the iPhone 14 Pro Max. Alright folks, now let's talk about the pros and cons of the Insta360 Flow and well, the limitation by using an Android phone. Now, like any other products, the Insta360 Flow does have his limitations. The most question about Insta360 Flow is the compatibility for Android users, which features are not working at the moment and what are the limitations. I will start first with the cons. The Y-X or Tilt-X is slightly limited.
Hey guys, Mike in the future here, and I just want to mention with the problem with the tilt-axis, they are fixed it looks like, because they did a firmware update and I did some tests and I don't get these issues. So I think they changed the parameters of the motors, so now it's way better. And it's following way better in the auto mode as well in the follow. Enjoy the cons now, but they improved it already very quickly and I really love it. If you use the zoom in function and you have the settings on slow, you feel it is still too fast. Another big cons is that you not can record in HDR, 10-bit footage or ProRes RAW in the app. If you're using the wide angle lenses, you need to be careful because sometimes you see the gimbal in the shot. When you're using the live broadcast and you want to show the hand gesture, sometimes this is not working. It's sometimes really annoying, but you just need to keep trying and then it's activating the tracking. The flimsy and springy tripod leg is another problem, where you have to be careful when you're doing 360 panoramas, but you can use a better tripod stand. Another big issue is when you're using 360 panoramas, I have most of the times the problem that they're not get stitched really well together and you not have the options to do it again, so you have to start the whole process again. No matter if you're using the iPhone or the Android phones, I had the same issues with both phones. Now we are coming to the limitation for the Android user, and the biggest one is you cannot film in 4K with 60 frames per second, or also 8K recording is not possible. Another one is you have only auto exposure or white balance settings you can change. You cannot set up manually the exposure like shutter speed or any ISO on Android. Then the next part is the AV, the exposure value, get always resetted when you're changing lenses for Android user. You can only go down with the exposure for 2 stops, not 3 stops like on iPhone. On Android you don't have a slow motion mode. Also, one of my biggest concerns is that you not can use all of the lenses, or it's not showing you the lenses, it shows you only 2 lenses, and the S23 has actually 4 camera lenses and you see only 2 camera lenses. But if you zoom in, it uses all the lenses, but it's a bit confusing. Now we're coming to the pros. I know there was a lot of cons, but I want to mention this because maybe a lot of people with Androids are looking for these answers. So the pros are, for me, the camera tracking, Deep Track 3.0. It's a very intelligent tracking system, and having the AI shot guide, you not need to plan, you don't need to have any skills, you just follow the instruction what Insta360 gives to you. Then also the quick unfolding, the long battery life, the compact design, everything is pretty cool. Then the built-in selfie stick and the 45 angle adjustment is very nice. Using the 4K timelapse and hyperlapse function is really amazing because that's what I was looking for on iPhone. Also having the option to attach a spotlight is really good. And again, the Insta360 app, they just nailed it. That's such an amazing app. The AI cutting and everything, it's just a dream.
So there you have it, folks. The Insta360 FLOW is, in my eyes, the ideal gimbal for content creator for all levels. It is quick and straightforward to use, and it works for both phones, Android and iPhones. Its small size makes it very great for taking on the go, while its long-lasting battery power guarantees that you won't miss a shot. While having these limitations and compatibility problems for Android users in mind, but overall you can use the gimbal with the Samsung S23 ULTRA, and there are some workarounds. For example, using the native camera app. It's an amazing gimbal, which makes it for me to a top choice for content creator who wants to level up their game. These are my favorite features about the Insta360 FLOW. Click the gun button to track the subject in seconds, holding up your hand to track yourself or start recording. The gimbal is super small and compact. Having the tripod stand, extender selfie stick with the angle adjustment is really good. Creating 4K timelapse and hyperlapses, which you can't do right now on an iPhone. Then you have the motion timelapse. The spotlight LED is amazing, and the impressive battery life. The price of 220 euros in my eyes is really good to get so many features and the app which optimizes your workflow and gives you a lot of creative inspiration or auto editing. I also have provided my affiliate links down below, so if you want to get an Insta360 FLOW and you want to support my channel, please use the link in the description down below. That's it for today's review. If you found this video helpful, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe for more tech reviews or tutorials. If you have any additional questions about the Insta360 FLOW, feel free to leave a comment down below and I will answer it quickly. Thanks for watching and catch you in the next video. Peace. Shorts, like when you have people crossing by.
It's more fast.
Yeah, see.
Oh no! Stop!
That's a stab.
Está loco, eh? This is crazy.